Good morning, everybody. It's been a pretty busy week. Have a lot going on. But first thing this morning, I want to get out here and check on the chicks. I've gave them feed yesterday, but they're getting bigger and they're eating faster. So let's get on in here and see exactly how they're doing. These bums are still sleeping. They're all huddled together in a nice little bundle. They're just a hoot. So I gave them some feed last night. They already ate all of that up. I better go ahead and fill it up for them. Let me turn on the lights and wake them up. Time to wake up this morning. How y'all doing? Just turn on the light for them. Had the light off all night so they could sleep. Now I'm gonna fill their food tray for them. They're getting bigger, getting faster. Feathers are filling out. They're looking good and healthy. Just fill the feed tray for them so that they can go ahead and start eating their breakfast and eat throughout the day. But they're looking pretty good. Now we're gonna go back here, check the hay baling. We've been baling this field back here last night till maybe about 10:30. Well, we were baling until about 10:30 last night. We started baling this field, got a couple of rolls in, and then we stopped. But we'll get back on this morning or today, finish baling the hay in this field. This is the field behind the house. We've got all of this to bale today. We'll have this finished today. See, this is one of the bales we did last night. We go ahead and do the big bales so that we don't have to do too much moving and feeding of the cows. We put those big bales out and let them eat on those when winter time comes. But we'll be getting all this hay up today and getting all these bales moved and stacked sometime today or this weekend. So last night we got this little section here baled. We got about 10 of those big bales over on this side. And this here is the baler. This is the mechanism that picks the grass up off the ground, rolls it into the bales, and then shoots it out. So this is pretty much what it looks like. This is the grass here as we roll over it. These little fingers suck it all in, pull it into the unit there, rolls it into a big roll. Then when it's done, it puts the netting wrap on it. And once it gets to the right size, it puts netting wrap on it, then you can eject it. It comes out of this back bay down on the back side here, and I'm a little close. But that back bay opens up, pushes the bale out, and then we get going again. We're gonna wait for it to warm up a little bit, let the morning dew dry up off of the grass. We don't want to bale that damp grass. That'll just make it mildew and it'll just go bad. But a lot's going on. We're getting a lot done. Been a busy week. Cutting, raking, baling. Fun continues. So in this pasture, you can see the rows. They're not extremely big, but they're a good size. We're going through a drought right now. It's pretty dry. But my back pasture, man, it's the rows are so thin and flat, it's not gonna make much hay, or the hay that it normally makes. So this is gonna make okay, but my back pasture, it's gonna be hurting. So I'm gonna have to put aside every bale that we make, because not sure how the year is gonna play out. And if it continues the way it's been going, we're gonna see hay prices is gonna get crazy. On top of the inflation and everything, we got this drought. So feeding these cows and feeding livestock, it's gonna get expensive. So for those who do not have land that they're leasing or that they own that they can bale hay, those who have to go out there and buy hay, they need to get it as soon as possible, because if this drought continues, it's gonna be tough. But I'm gonna have to lock in every single bale I can. I've already had people asking me if I'm gonna sell any of this. You know, I tend to sell to neighbors and close friends if they need it. You know, I'll sell a little bit, but I still gotta make sure that I have enough to take me through the winter. That's always the big game in the cattle business, is making sure you've got enough feed to make it through the winter. Stark difference. This is my back pasture, and you can see these rows are unbelievably thin and flat. So there's really nothing much back here. We're not gonna make a fraction of the rows that we normally make. What I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to probably go ahead and do a soil test, see what's going on. Because I know it's dry, but the grass is too thin. So I'm gonna have to see what's happening with the soil, get this some fertilizer or whatever I need to put on this for next year. But this is not gonna do anything. Might not even worth running the baler. But this is what we're looking like, folks. You know, those of you out there, you're hearing the shortages and the different things, but this is what it's looking like out in farmland. This is helping to add to some of the issues we're seeing. When out in farmland, we're just not producing what we normally do. And to get some fertilizer on this is an all-time high. And as they're saying now, you can't even really find the fertilizer. So it all flows downhill. This is just grass and hay, but this feeds into feeding cows and cattle. Feeding cows and cattle flows into meat in the grocery stores. So if I can't feed cows and cattle, I won't keep as many cows. And if I don't have as many cows, then there's not a whole lot of beef in the grocery stores. And this is my small time operation. Imagine this on a much larger scale. Some of the guys who are running, you know, thousands of acres and running thousands of head of cattle. It all flows downhill. But this is what my back pasture looks like. I'm not impressed with it and what the production is going to be this year. So I'm going to have to be, as I said earlier, hoarding every bale of hay. The unfortunate part of it is going to be as we go through the year, I know there's going to be a lot of people coming asking, needing to buy hay. So I'm going to have to do my calculations early to figure out how many bales I'm going to need to take me through the winter, and see exactly how many bales I might be able to help friends and neighbors out with. But it's going to be awfully thin. As always, we've got to come out here and feed the chickens and let them out for the day. Hey girls, how y'all doing? Hey big boy, Mr. Rooster. Excuse me, let me get in there. Excuse me girls, excuse me. Man, they get right up under your feet. Okay, water is empty. So I've got to fill their water, give them some feed. And I forgot I needed to bring a bag over here with me. I did not bring another bag, so I'm going to have to go back and get another bag of feed. But what's in here will be enough for today. But this evening or tomorrow morning, I'll definitely have to bring them another bag of feed, get them a bucket of water, and they'll be set for the day. Good thing about it is once I let them out, they normally go up front and drink water out of the big deal where for the dog and the cats. They'll go up there and they'll drink out of that. Hey little one, why are you on that side? You ran outside the gate and forgot how to get back in? You can't get in through there. You gotta go back through the gate. Sometimes they just really ain't all that smart. You know, we've got one pumpkin on the vine that's getting ripe. It's that orange yellowish color. Still have some green in it. We'll wait till that orange spread across on everything, and then we'll know that'll be ready to pick. But this here in the big garden, it's pretty dry. I haven't been watering. As you can see here, this is how dry it is. The ground just cracks. And we've got these big cracks that forms all throughout everywhere. These big holes open up, and that just shows you just how dry everything is. I mean, you look at that, I can put my fingers down in there. But that's what we're looking at all throughout the garden. There's another big crack open up right there. But that just tells you how dry everything is. And unfortunately, I have not had the time to fix that broken pipe. So all week I have not been able to give this big garden any water or any attention. And as you can see, the grass is growing up, the weeds is kicking in, and it's just taking over. But the pumpkin patch is still starting to spread, or not trying to spread. So that's a good thing. We'll see what it produces as we push through the year. But right now, if this drought continues or this dry spell continues, I'm not sure what we're gonna get. But it is awfully dry. This is my neighbor's hay that he baled. Normally his field is covered up in these bales. Now you can look and see there's a whole lot of space. Look at that, a whole lot of space. So it's not just me, guys. This is across the street from me. There's a whole lot of gaps in between his bales. So there isn't much over there either. We'll zoom in a little bit. I mean, normally you can't even count them, but look at that. Now I can sit right here and I can count every bale he got this year, and it does not look good. Well, some special future projects. This is some old lumber. A buddy of mine, they tore down an old barn. There's some old lumber that he gave to me. This will be a starter help with the hen house. So I'll be, man, I don't know when I'm going to get that started, but I'm going to have to get that started because those chicks are growing fast. Next project we'll be working on. I have ordered a couple of beehives. How you like that? I'm gonna get me some beehives and start doing some honey just for my personal use. I just ordered 2 of them. So I ordered 2 of them. I think there was a 8-week shipping time, so they'll ship in about 8 weeks. So I ordered them this past week, so beginning of July, August, I guess sometime in September, they'll probably come in. So I've got quite a bit of people around here who have beehives, so I'll have some people I'll be able to call on and talk to and see whether that's a good time to start the hives, seeing that we're getting into the end of the summer and about to head into fall, winter. I don't know whether we want to start at that time or whether we want to wait and start in the spring. So I don't know. But it's something new I'll be getting into. But as I've shown you guys the different, my pasture, my neighbor's pasture, all the cracks in the garden, in the big garden, it's one of those things where the neighboring town, as I drive around, the neighboring town, I'm seeing a lot of hay in the fields. So it's one of those things where they got some good rain earlier, because I remember earlier in the year, there were the dark clouds, the rain clouds came through, and we may have gotten 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and the neighboring town, they just had a full onslaught of rain. So their grass grew pretty good. You drive by and look at their hay fields and look at their hay bales, and they're layered in hay. But on this side of town, it's thin. So we'll just have to see how the rain plays out. At this rate, I don't think there's going to be a second cutting. We have to really get some good rain for a second cutting. And as I said, most of us probably won't be fertilizing at these fertilizer prices. So we'll just have to ride it out and see what happens. And just hope for the best as we go through the year. That's a part of farm life. So as I always say, when you see a farmer, give him a hug. So folks, that's a short recap of what's going on. A lot going on the farm. A lot going on in the office. Also with the John Deere Gator, I'm hitting my 100-hour mark. I think I'm right at about 95, so I need to be taking this into the dealership for servicing. When I got it, I think I was supposed to do a 50-hour service and then a 100-hour service. But right before the 50-hour service, I had an issue right around about 35 hours. So I took it in then. They did some stuff, and I said, well, I'll skip the 50 and I'll just go to the 100. So I'll be taking this in pretty soon. But again, that's a recap of what's going on. A lot's happening. A lot of material I've got to put together. Just don't have the time to put it all together. But we'll see what we can do to get some more videos out to you. But again, if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a like and a thumbs up so the algorithm can get us moving out there on the YouTube to get our subscribers and our viewership up. But you have yourself a wonderful day. It's the 4th of July weekend. Just please be safe out there. I'm probably going to go buy myself some fireworks. I love some fireworks, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to light because as we see how dry everything is. So everything being so dry, just be careful with your fireworks. Watch your general area, watch the fires. But enjoy the holiday weekend. Take care of yourself.